let's see, it's 6 o'clock now. Cocktail party is at 7. Plenty of time for you to get ready and look your best. Decisions, decisions. What to wear? What goes with what? The same as yesterday or something different? I don't know about you, but I can never make up my mind. What about shirts? Plain, striped, light, dark, blend in or contrast? The trouble is, of course, that various combinations work in various ways. One thing or another, but you can't have it both ways. At least, not at the same time. So you must choose. Not so easy sometimes, especially with time ticking away. The same applies to people, of course. Sometimes you're in the mood for this one, sometimes for that one. Opposite personalities, like opposite clothes, make life interesting. Except, of course, when, like clothes, they clash. Because, as we discover in this story, you have to be very careful with opposites, with people as well as with clothes. Sometimes they attract, but as our hero finds out to his cost, sometimes they don't.
Just a pretty face, Harry.
I'm not looking at your face, Lola.
I'm not just a pretty body either.
Well, where does a boy look to find a girl's soul?
You just, sort of find it. Like a water diviner.
Well, even a water diviner needs a stick, Lola.
No.
Do you have to set it for 6, Lola?
The shoot's very early, Harry.
Harry, the clock is quite early enough.
Caroline, can you turn out the light, please?
Honestly, Harry, a touch of lovemaking and you're done for. Anyone would think sex was a rehearsal for death. Once it happens, everything else stops. Harry, you might have a better photograph of me. At least one without my glasses.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Fashion model, Lola.
Feet are very important in fashion, Harry.
I like your feet, Lola. Do all Venezuelans have such nice toes?
That's a toe, Harry. I've been walking in the wrong part of my body all my life.
You won't get to paradise by staying on the balls of your feet, Lola. It should have been a book.
Judging from your performance this evening, Harry, you'd scarcely make a short story. I know you often make advertisements for fast food, Harry. But there's nothing like a proper meal. You know, French and slow, with several courses.
Several courses?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Just my luck. My French lover in Paris turns out to have an English mother.
Don't leave my mother out of it, will you?
Only an Englishman thinks he leaves his mother outside his bedroom door.
I'm Frenchman.
Don't you have enough clocks?
My father liked clocks. He was English.
I thought you didn't like your father.
Oh, I preferred his clocks. But they weren't all English.
I thought you liked me. I'm all English.
Especially when you speak French.
I read French perfectly. How do you think I get by in publishing?
Why don't you stop reading and start writing again?
I will. It's just I have a bit of a block.
Oh, why don't you write something for our campaign? Lots of would-be novelists have written an advertisement.
I'm not sure my French is good enough. Even when I don't write in English.
It doesn't matter. We're an American agency, after all. Everything gets translated. Oh, there's an executive flying in next week from New York to discuss a promotion campaign for a new American fast food chain. Why don't you try and come up with some ideas? Hmm? Here. Look at some of your rivals' work.
When is your agency going to use me? Everyone else does. Just because I'm the woman in your life? Or at least the part in your bed? I don't see why I cannot be the face in one of your advertisements.
I never mix business and pleasure. Oh, no.
You may not mix business with pleasure, but you certainly know how to make pleasures of life more painful.
My father left my mother, and my mother left me his clocks.
Well, she certainly didn't leave you in peace.
Turn it off, Caroline. Caroline.
Oh, Lola. Lola?
Merde. C'est plus possible. Hello?
Excuse me, mister. Do you have the time?
I don't have a watch.
Why don't you love French girls, Mr. Harry?
They just don't tickle my fancy.
What does it mean, tickle your fancy?
Ask Paul. He's trying to become an American. He thinks it'll get him a promotion. See you.
Ciao.
Morning, Paul.
Hello, lover boy.
Oh.
Hey, my accent's coming along just dandy, isn't it? Oh, that New York executive is not going to know what's hit him when I open my mouth next week. No, you should stop smoking. Take this. Contains every nourishing ingredient known to man, except the love of a good woman. Oh. Talking of which one was it last night, Lola or Caroline? You know, Harry, if I had half the women you have, I'd actually have a whole one for a change. You know, I have to make do with just bits of them. Their lips on my cheek, the tips of their fingers in a quick handshake, and always the elbow.
You're well out of it, Paul.
My life's becoming impossible. I woke up this morning calling both of the names.
No.
It was only by chance that neither of them was there to hear it.
You mean they still don't know about each other? I wonder how you can keep one woman from knowing about another. I only have to breathe the same air as a girl, and my mother gets a headache, and she doesn't even live in Paris. Oh. If I were you, I would let them know about each other. I wish I could make someone jealous.
Oh. Perhaps you'll get your chance.
Oh.
Sophie and Isabel want you to give them English lessons.
Ah.
I just told you would explain what tickle your fancy means.
Oh. Your thoughtfulness touches me, Harry, which is certainly more than Sophie and Isabel have done.
From New York directement. All our offices worldwide. No smoking. So, mon petit, up with the club.
But we do advertisements for cigarettes.
Even killers have to stay healthy to do their job properly, Mr. Harry.
Oh, Isabel, I heard that you want me to give you some English lessons.
English lessons from you?
Well, if it tickles your fancy.
What a jerk.
I think I've got a bit of a marketing problem. Still, if there's one thing I'm trained to do, it is to cope with marketing problems.
Yeah.
I think what my love life needs is some scientific analysis. You think when sexual harassment boomerangs in your face, it counts as self-abuse?
Now, look, I hope you two are going to come up with something new for our visitor from New York next week. Francis Price is not someone who's easily pleased.
Good.
Well, it's not much of an idea, but I thought you could have a picture of this big fat guy stuffing his face and a caption which says, "Some like fast food because they like to eat fast." And then you have a picture of this very pretty girl and a caption which says, "Françoise likes her hamburger fast because it gives her time to enjoy the things she likes to do slowly." And you turn the page and you have a picture of her eating the apple pie.
Good.
I don't know why your agency needed another photograph of me. And a mugshot at that.
They put it in the files and then perhaps they put it in an advertisement.
Where's Francis Price? He's late. At the touch of a button, you can send people's faces, their voices, even their money around the world. I don't know why they still turn up in the flesh to do business. It's not as though they're making love, is it? Though, no doubt, Harry, your life would be much easier if you could make love by telephone.
No doubt.
This way, Francis.
Nice to meet you, sir. Ma'am.
Well, despite appearances to the contrary, this is the think tank of our little operation. Paul Mangin, Harry Thompson, Francis Price, International Coordinator of Projects Analysis.
Well,
Nice to meet you.
Harry.
Enchanté.
Paul speaks good English, and Harry here, well, he slips from French language and culture into English as easily as an automatic gear change.
Well, I'm sure with Monsieur Thompson's linguistic abilities, he has understood the recent directive about not smoking at work.
Oh, I'm sure it just slipped his mind. Shall we?
Yes.
Don't forget, boys, we're all lunching together. We'll play ball with a few ideas, okay?
Right.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
You creep. Why didn't you tell me Frances was a woman?
I completely forgot. I said I would have lunch with Lola. Oh, Helen, it's Harry. Harry Thompson. Is Lola there? Oh, how long is she out shopping for? She said she's not coming back before she meets me here. Merde. No, don't worry. I'll sort something out. Thank you. Bye. I just have to put her off when she turns up.
Harry Thompson? C'est une anglaise. Caroline, quelque chose.
Une minute.
He's just coming.
Caroline, this is Paul. Hi. Harry's just a little tied up right now. But when are we going to see you again? Oh, a short story. Oh, that sounds interesting. Well, yes, I'd love to read it. Oh, yes, I'm sure Harry would like you to bring it over at lunchtime.
Hi. What's this about the story, Caroline? Of course I'm happy for you that you've been writing, darling. It's just we've got this important business lunch. Of course Paul knew about it. You must have forgotten. Well, even if you do just drop it round, I won't have time to read it before this evening. Even if it is very short, darling. Well, I can't promise I will be there. Okay. Bye. Merci, Paul. Très gentil.
I thought I should see you in action, Harry. Get a few tips. You know, when I went to the circus as a kid, I was always fascinated by the jugglers. Is there anything I can do?
Oh, I think you've done quite enough.
Well done. You're all here. Very
Okay. Vas-y, vas-y. I'll join you all in a minute. Somebody's just delivering an important document to me personally.
all right, but don't be long, Harry. I mean, Francis wants to pick your brains.
Darling?
Hi. Here.
Oh, is this it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad you started writing again.
I never really stopped, Harry. It's just there wasn't anything I wanted to show you recently. I really want you to read this.
I'll read it as soon as I can.
It's sort of about you.
About me?
Yes.
Taxi!
You're not leaving, are you?
Oh, I have to. Let's meet for a drink to discuss it. 7 at the Brasserie, okay?
Okay. By the way, what do they think of my advertisement?
Oh, they're still digesting it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Faites le tour, s'il vous plaît, monsieur, et pas trop vite.
Le tour, et pas trop vite. Ok.
C'est bon, gardez la manette. Darling. Darling. Oh, I'm so sorry. Something came up. I tried phoning you. Look, I'm terribly sorry. Just can't make lunch. This executive has flown in from America and we've got this meeting now.
Take off your jacket.
What?
Forget about lunch, Harry, but take off your jacket.
No, look, Lola, I haven't got time.
Harry? Just try this on. This looks wonderful.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Now, the trousers.
Look, Lola, I haven't got time to go up to the office.
Go in there.
Lola, I'm in a hurry.
Harry, I spent all morning looking for a suit for you. I spent 5,000 francs on you. The least you can do for me is to go in there and spend a couple francs for me, okay?
Well,
Oh, you look so handsome, darling. I'll get your suit cleaned. Have a nice meeting.
thank you.
Oh, let's meet at 8 o'clock in the brasserie, okay?
8 o'clock? No!
Now, that's what I call style, Harry. You Frenchmen, you certainly have a way. Important lunch meeting, wants to create an impression. What does he do? He just slips out and buys a new suit. Yes, I am impressed, Harry. You know how much importance we attach in the company to presentation of product. You know something, Harry? I buy your product.
Oh. Where? Oh, no, sorry.
Richard and Paul are powdering their noses. Richard left me with Paul, but he had a little accident with his drink on his coat. I don't think somehow Paul is very relaxed with women. Cigarette, Harry? You're not in the office now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ah, Harry. Good.
Oh, nice one, Harry. You know, even the circus jugglers didn't manage a costume change while there were balls up in the air. Huh?
Terrine de Langostino, foie gras de canard. Isn't that a rather unusual combination? If it is what I think it is.
Yeah, it's a sort of pâté made of large prawns and duck liver. Sometimes a balance of very different things makes them both more interesting.
That was exquisite. What a delicate balance.
Harry knows a lot about delicate balances.
Of course, in order to promote a foreign product here, we have to find the right balance in our presentation between international and national appeal. So what would be a good balance for this chain of American fast food restaurants we're promoting, Harry?
Slow French restaurants.
That was a really interesting proposal for the campaign, Harry. I'll send a fax of my summarization when I get back to New York, okay?
Well, do you want a taxi to take you back to the hotel?
Oh, I was rather hoping that you'd be able to show me around Paris on my last trip.
I'm sorry, I have to go to a meeting.
Business?
No, not more a literary meeting.
Oh, I really like that. A man in business keeping up his interest in the humanities. Is there anything wrong here?
I've forgotten the paper I have to discuss. I'll just talk off the top of my head.
Some things are better for being spontaneous, Harry. Now, between you and me, Harry, Richard's days are numbered as head of our Paris operation. Yeah, he just doesn't have the vision. And that messy divorce of his didn't help his cause back in New York. But you know how keen the president of the company is on family values. Now, at the moment, I would be inclined strongly to recommend that you take over for Richard.
Me?
Yes, I know you're young, but we need a new direction. Though, between you and me, Harry, what might convince them that you are responsible enough to take on the job would be if you got yourself a little wife. I'm sure the girls are lining up to take you down that aisle. Not that, if you're careful, marriage has to be the end of all fun. You know, Harry, some fun moves can be good career moves as well.
Guess who? I'm sorry I'm late, darling. I had more works in my hand than I thought.
Yes, like getting yourself a new suit.
Oh, I had to, Caroline. I spilled wine all over mine at lunch.
It's a great suit, though. The one thing you have, Harry, is good taste in clothes.
Oh, now, this is a short story, Caroline.
It's more half a short story, Harry.
Oh, only in length, not quality.
Do you mean you liked it, Harry?
Did I like it? What a silly question. Yes. Oh, we'll just get some cigarettes.
Did you really like it, Harry?
Extraordinary, darling.
You recognize yourself then?
How could I not?
You're not offended?
Offended? Why?
I mean, it's so intriguing, Harry, the way you always have to be somewhere foreign, especially in your homeland. You work for an American company, you have an English girlfriend, You're always wanting to look at the world from where you're not, which is fine, as long as you treat life as a joke. Because humor depends on being able to see things differently from those you make fun of, even if it's yourself. The problem comes when you want to treat life seriously. Harry,
Yes.
can you stop being so wound up with yourself for a second? I'm trying to discuss my story.
I thought it was about me.
Not the real you, silly. I mean, you're hardly a Spanish-American stand-up comedian on the road in the States. Especially not one who takes such drastic action when he decides to stop laughing at the world.
You don't know what drastic action I've taken in my time, Caroline.
I hardly think you go around killing people.
Killing people?
Honestly, Harry. Anyone would think you hadn't read the story.
Of course I read the story, but you got me confused. Oh, look, Caroline. Couldn't you come round later to the flat to discuss it? I really must go back to the office to do some more work.
Impossible, Harry. You're always missing me around. Ferdinand.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, darling. Really. It's very unfair of me. It's just it would be much better to go to discuss your story somewhere private. Yeah, in our own time.
All right, then, if you insist.
Okay. Shall I get you a taxi?
No, I think I'll stay here a while and work on the end of my story.
Oh. Okay, then. Okay, look at this. See you, darling.
See you later.
Another tea, miss?
Oh, thank you. I think I'll have a stick tartare.
Harry? Harry? Oh. You poor thing, darling. Oh. The waiter told me that you were suddenly very sick at the cafe.
Yeah. I think it was the langoustine and the doctor I had for lunch. Dreadful combination.
Well, I don't know why you French think that you can cook together anything that ever goes swimming in the water. I won't stay long. You must sleep. Oh, I found this in your suit.
Oh.
You never told me you were a writer. And such imagination, too.
Yes.
I fancy inventing a character like that. So different from yourself, so violent. Oh, amazing. You don't mind me reading it, do you, Torne?
Yeah, but...
Well, I could not resist it. You know, I always thought I'd end up marrying a writer. Well, I take it as a compliment that you make him Spanish-American.
Spanish-American?
Tell me, how's it going to end?
Well...
So, to escape from finding the world funny, he started killing the people he makes jokes about. What I think should happen then is that during his next performance, he starts describing how he killed his wife, his mother-in-law, his dog, and so on. And the audience roars with laughter, thinking it a joke. What do you think, Harry?
Sorry.
You're not much help with my writing.
What do you think of her?
Who's she?
The girl in your advertisement.
Oh, she looks great. By the way, what happened to my photograph?
And then you turn the page and we see you eating an apple pie.
Well, it's fine, but as long as you do make me eat a hamburger. Yeah. I only eat animals that talk.
Morning, Paul.
Hello. Oh, Frances, Miss Frances, has certainly made the most of your little idea. She put words in your mouth that I've never noticed on your lips. But then perhaps my private audiences with you aren't quite like Frances's.
Do you think I should get married?
To which one?
I don't know. I think I need them both.
Françoise likes her hamburger fast because it gives her time to enjoy the things she likes to do slowly.
She's not bad at all. Your advertisement's really quite amusing, but I'm not completely certain about your concept of the campaign as a whole. See, Frances, in her summary, was perhaps a little too faithful to the way you put certain things. I mean, you were speaking off the top of your head, after all. I think that we should let Paul kick it around for a bit, see what he comes up with, and then we can all have another crack at it, okay? Right, sure. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. I think we're safe from the company's health and safety policy in here.
Thank you.
It seems, Harry, that Frances can get things out of you the rest of us can't.
Sorry?
She told me on the phone yesterday that as far as you were concerned, marriage was in the air. That true?
Perhaps. It's in the air.
Who's the lucky girl, then?
Well,
I don't want to pry. It's just that, well, as you know, Mary and I bought a house in the country. It's a beautiful place. It's only half an hour's drive from here. And it still means a lot to me, but now I'm on my own. You know how it is. I want to move back into town. I'd rather sell it to someone I know. I wouldn't ask much more than I paid for it. I just thought perhaps you might like to come and have a look at it. You know, come down one Sunday, see whether you'd be interested. Anyway, I could use a bit of company during the weekends. Hello there, Harry. Oh. I was only practicing. Don't worry, I only shoot dead things, clay pigeons. Do you shoot anything?
No.
Should throw those old things away. Can't quite bring myself to do it. So,
Very nice place.
yeah. Of course, if you wanted any of the furniture, well, I don't suppose that you and your bride will be wanting twin beds. Not yet, at least. The only ones she left behind were the ones she painted herself. I still can't decide whether leaving them was an act of compassion or aggression.
Richard and Francis.
You know, it's funny how some of our possessions are almost part of ourselves and others we abandon without a thought. Do you know what turned out to be my wife's most treasured possession? Her omelette pan. Can't even remember her making an omelette. Everyone knows that splitting up makes you reconsider your relationship with people. No one ever told me it forces you completely to rethink your relationship with things. This girl you're gonna marry. Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
This girl you're gonna marry. Do you have a good relationship with her things? Why don't you bring her down here next week and see if she and her things will fit in? Let me do something about that.
Hi, Caroline, it's me. I just got back. It's a very nice house. You wouldn't have to do a thing to it. Perhaps you could come and see it sometime. It would be a great place for writing. No, I just got back, Lola. Yeah, I thought it had a lot of potential. Of course, you'd have to change most of it inside, even if it was only for weekends.
I'm not just a pretty face, Harry.
Who's she? You're not leaving, are you?
I always thought I'd end up marrying a writer.
I have a better photograph of me. At least one without my glasses.
How's it going to end?
Harry? There's a Hitchcock season around the corner. We could see what's showing.
Amazing.
I know you've seen it. Everyone's seen Strangers on a Train. But I always miss it on television.
Yeah, no problem.
But if he needed to get to the scene of the crime as quickly as possible, why did he not quickly lose his silly tennis game? Instead of going on and winning it. It's much easier in life to lose things than to win them.
Yes?
Does the house have a tennis court?
No.
Maybe if you bought the house, I could pay for a tennis court for us. When are you going to see it?
Saturday lunchtime.
Oh, I have to go to my cousin's this weekend. Oh, but she doesn't live far away from the house. I could take a cab.
You could.
Do you think it was a coincidence, them meeting like that?
Sorry?
In the film.
Oh. I thought the whole point was that they met by coincidence.
Most coincidences aren't coincidences. People are brought together for a reason. I can't decide whether it's something outside themselves, God or something that brings them together, or whether it's part of themselves which they just don't know about. Something which makes lovers meet. Perhaps even a murder victim find her killer.
Are you coming to see the house with me on Saturday?
Yeah, of course, Harry. Never know. Might be living there one day.
Morning, Paul.
Hello?
All right. Oh, have you seen my notes for the proposal?
I used them to send Francis our new analysis of the campaign.
Our analysis? But I haven't even looked at it.
Yes, but Frances phoned me at home last night. Said she wanted something faxed over as soon as possible for a meeting this morning. She especially wanted my input. She told me to make it as American as I could. Listen to this. The success of fast, convenient, imported food practices is bound to lead to a movement backed by some consumers to conventional, nationalistic food practices.
Yes, Harry, I have to go to New York, some special meeting. Don't worry, I'll be back by Saturday. I'll see you then.
Oh, yes, but Rich. But why didn't Frances phone me?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't have your number.
Right, oh, fade me music. Why do you mean Lola? I'm rolling, whoa, 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 whoa.
So you think it's my sort of house?
Sort of.
Do you think it's our sort of house? I finished the story last night. Shall I tell you what happens? Or would you prefer to read it later?
I read it later.
Do you think Richard will want to discuss my advertisement?
You never know. Don't worry, it's only Richard. He's shooting clay pigeons.
That was amazing. Now, let's see whether we can improve. Right. That's great. That's it. Elbow up, tuck in. That's fantastic.
I thought you said there's no woman now in Richard's life.
There isn't.
Harry!
Darling,
Your girlfriend's quite a shot. Oh, you've brought a second opinion, have you?
Caroline Jaeger, Lola Martinez,
Hello.
and Richard Hansen.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you two don't know each other.
I only know Lola from the photograph for the advertisement I wrote.
You wrote? Well, I thought... Yes, well...
I was invited by Ari to see the house with him.
So was I. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Well, shall I tell you about the house, then?
Why not? We can always continue with the shooting later.
But that's the terrace, the master bedroom. You see, it looks...
This is quite lovely.
Quite lovely.
Still, we can't expect to see eye to eye on everything, even if we do seem to be working together.
Oh, I'm sure little me couldn't do justice to your big words.
Well, I'm sure no one would mistake you for a quick snack that's been lingered on longer than intended.
Perhaps I'll get us all a drink.
Of course, I knew there was someone else in Harry's life.
Of course.
All those absurd arrangements.
You never knew whether you were coming or going.
I assumed there was so much more to him because he gave so little.
It was like he was always somewhere else.
Always far off, even when familiar.
Yes, you couldn't even recognize him in the story he wrote about that Spanish-American comedian.
You don't think he wrote that, do you? Harry's creativity is confined to his choice of clothes.
You don't think he chose them, do you?
I can't think what we saw in him.
Why did we put ourselves out to fit him in?
What's going on, Harry?
I couldn't decide which one.
Very interesting idea, getting them both to work on the advertisement. Our clients don't pay us to arrange our own private little jokes. Do you know how hard I had to fight in New York to stop you and Paul being sacked?
What? But Frances told me she wanted to replace you. I presume it was a lover's revenge.
Lover's revenge? Can't you see she was using you and Paul? She wants to prove it's better if she controls our operation, commuting from New York. Why do you think she had him write that stupid report on your half-thought-out idea? Her line is, what's the point in having bad imitation Americans using bad imitation American business strategies when you can get the real thing?
But Frances and I, we made love.
Well, since when's having sex with someone mean they're on your side?
What a coincidence. Both our fingers slipped at the same time.
Oh, Harry. I forgot to tell you what happens at the end of my story. The comedian doesn't commit suicide. He gets shot by someone he makes fun of.
Well, you've certainly done it now.
Poor Harry, attracted to two women, both completely opposite to one another. And instead of sensibly choosing one or the other, he brings them together and they clash. Isn't that typical? And all because he couldn't decide which one he really wanted. Could not make a choice. People who cannot make up their minds always lose out in the end. Be sure and be swift. Let that be your motto or else. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Like Harry, it's too late for you. Party's over.